I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that brings us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here's to not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Welcome to We Need Help. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy. And today we need to just let them.
Let them. We're doing the book Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, who we all know, I hope. I mean, most people know her. She has an award-winning Mel Robbins podcast. She's done books like The 5-Second Rule, The High Five Habit.
I think
yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Well, I've definitely read it. I don't know if we've done it on here, but it's like really, really good.
Yeah.
And while I don't want to go over every aspect of this book, because I do think that people should just go on Audible and listen to it.
Yeah.
Because it's really, really good. But a lot of people, like if you, for some reason, can't stand Mel Robbins' voice,
I can't.
I love her.
Oh, you
I
like
love
her voice.
Yes.
I'll read the book. Her voice drives me nuts for some reason.
But for some, like there are 50% of the people that either love her or hate her. Yeah. I love her, but she's aggressive. Like she's like super aggressive. And I like that kind of talk, assertive, obviously. You know, I'm assertive. But at least read the book, because this book I got because I was having trouble with, I'm always having trouble with the idea of letting people live their life making stupid fucking decisions all the time.
Yeah.
It's my Achilles heel. Like, I'm like, why? And while I would like to acknowledge that I make every stupid fucking decision on earth, for some reason, when it's someone else's decision, I can't stand it. Yeah. It just drives me bananas.
Yeah.
Like, especially with like, nutrition or, something as simple as that. I'm like, why wouldn't you just like health? It's like, doesn't seem like I just lose it. So I'm having trouble with my loved ones who literally will not take care of themselves.
Yeah.
They just won't. It's the craziest thing. So I'm having to come up with a way to cope with them living their own lives and me not having anything to do with it. And I have to figure that out. So I'm like, okay, I saw this book. She's one of my favorite podcasters. She's one of my favorite authors for things like this. So I just grabbed this book quick and I just started listening to it. And it is so helpful for anybody who is dealing with anything from road rage to having trouble with an elderly, adult parent, or friendships. She has a whole chapter just on adult friendships.
So what's the theory? I mean, I know it can't be as simple as just let them. Like, what's the
whole? It's pretty fucking simple. Basically, if somebody does something that hurts you in some way, or pisses you off, or fires you up and gets you into some sort of survival mode.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You go through this process of seeing their behavior, letting them have their life and do what they are doing at that very moment.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it is let me take control of me and do what I need to do.
Okay. Does she give some examples, or can you give me an example? Like, just
it's 2,000. It's 2,000. She gives you 2,000 examples, all very interesting. She even like has her, examples of her children, which I'm sure they want to kill her about. But okay, so let's just take. Okay, if she had the greatest example is she saw on Facebook a friend of hers took a beautiful vacation. And when she zoomed in on all the pictures, it was all of her friends. They went on a vacation without her.
Oh man, I've been there.
We've all been there.
It's painful. Yeah.
Horrible. And
Oh,
she's kept like,
God.
and then she's like, she was sitting on the couch and she could like feel herself like melting her into the couch about why they would leave her out.
Yeah.
And then like before you knew it, she was in this spiral like, like fuck them.
Yeah.
They don't like, we've all gotten it.
Yeah.
So she had just discovered this let them theory and she was researching it and everything. And she was like, you know what? Let them take their vacation with the people that they took it with. Let them. And then she had to pull back and say, okay, let me think about this. Let me admit that I haven't cultivated those friendships in years. Let me take responsibility on that I haven't invited them on any of my vacations. Let me take responsibility. And then more important, let me cultivate those connections again if I really want them. Let me reach out to them and say, hey, I know I've been a shit friend lately. I want to be close. I want to be part of the group, and like, let me, be a friend that is worth inviting on a vacation.
Okay.
So, okay, let me give you an example. Let's just say your mom is upset because you didn't do something for her that she wanted to on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It happened.
That shit happens. It's happened more than once.
It happened. Yeah. It happens every month.
Yeah. So your let them process would be to let her be upset. Let her be upset because she raised a daughter that didn't honor her the way that she wanted to be honored on that day.
Yeah.
And let her have her feelings. And let you understand that, okay, that hurts her feelings. If you don't do it next year, that is your fucking choice.
Yeah.
And and maybe you take a responsibility that you didn't do it right. Or maybe you say, okay, that is not me. Let me realize that I can't be the daughter for her.
Yeah.
That she wants. Let me like accept myself and that's the choice I'm going to make. I'm going, for next year or whatever like that. But you take responsibility for your part in it and decide what you're going to do with it. Maybe it's nothing.
Okay. I'd really like that. I'm just wondering what Mel says about the feelings that still remain. So,
well, she says
cognitively, I can do all that she suggests, but then the feelings of guilt are still there. Like, what do you do with those?
And every time they come up, you have to go through that process. You have to release her, let her have that.
Okay.
Let me take responsibility for my part in it, or let me accept myself for who I am and choose to not be that version of yourself that she wants. I mean, you're choosing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, for your codependents, and I know that you coach a lot of women, for them, it is such a easy tool to have in their tool belt for when they want to take on somebody else's joy or happiness. I mean, they have to let them have that too.
Yeah.
Let them be joyful.
Yeah, like the friends on vacation.
Yes. But like, it's not like just to separate yourself. You're also like, you have to think about it. You don't get to take credit when you do this. You don't really get to take credit for their joy either.
Yeah.
So you do have to make a sacrifice, but you are taking responsibility and then being in the driver's seat of your own life and not trying to control the whole rest of the world. Hey guys, remember to go to We Need Help, the podcast, for all different kinds of stuff like our swag. You can find the episodes, you can find the books that we're focusing on, all the methodologies. Please go to We Need Help, the podcast today, and enjoy the rest of the episode.
What how has it helped you so far? Like how's the book helping you?
Well, I don't have a lot of like driver's anger, rage, or anything like that, but I could see where that would help. It kind of like it's come up a few times when somebody doesn't want to let me in, or let them be angry or whatever.
Yeah.
And let me just find it amusing. Like, let me just like laugh at it, because that's what I like, so I just realized in that moment I have no control over them. But it's just helped me with my family. Like, if, for instance, if my parents don't want me to help with their health, I mean, I swear to God, I love you, Papa Bill. I love my dad so much. He's having an angioplasty like around the 20th. He calls to tell me, Izza, he's smoking a cigarette on the phone. I said, Dad, are you smoking? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
So do you see where I have to let him have his cigarette?
Yeah.
I have to let him. He's a 75-year-old man. Let him smoke a cigarette. And let me talk about it on the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, and he just laughs at himself. He's unapologetic. He didn't apologize to me.
Yeah.
Yes, no, like it's his choice.
Yeah.
And I know that. So, it kind of like, I have to take it. Most of my let me laugh about it. Let me take it in stride. Let me just, the humorous parts about it, because, I'm sure my parents in my early 20s were probably like, I mean, I was making some real dumbass decisions.
Yeah.
And they let me. And they let me learn from them. And they decided to love me anyway.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of what I'm trying to do with my parents. Like, let them have their behaviors and whatever that they think is best for them, and let me love them anyway.
Yeah.
And just, accept them and love them the way that they did when I was, a shitburger teenager or whatever. It's just like getting to that. But what she describes in it is true fear. Like, when I know that they're doing something that is bad for them, I'm terrified that they're going to suffer, and I'm going to suffer too. And I'm going to lose my parents, when really, like, I don't have control over when they die. I don't.
Yeah.
They could live to 95 or they could die today. I don't know. And me putting myself and deciding to be upset because they're not doing things the way that I want them to is, it's kind of cheating myself out of a lot of joy.
Yeah.
But I just want to go over some of the subjects that she goes over in this book. I mean, because it is just so good. She talks about stop wasting your time, your life on things that you can't control. Just brought up.
Yeah.
Life is stressful. Shocker, she says. Let them stress you out. Let them stress you out. Let it happen. It's not changing anything.
Yeah.
Let them think bad thoughts about you. That is a big one for me.
Yeah.
That's a huge one for me. I have graduated. I have graduated into that because of that narcissistic friend that I had, who turned everybody against me for a little bit. They all came back around and apologized and everything, but I had to let them think bad things about me.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a hard one to sit with. Yeah.
It was hard. And I think that is a huge thing. Like, I always, Scar and I were just talking yesterday about becoming real comfortable with people who don't like you.
Yeah.
And be real comfortable with that, because that means that you're doing something well.
Yeah.
you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, uh, uh, how to love difficult people. That was
Mm.
a huge one. That there was a lot of parental approval and stuff like
Okay.
that in there. When grown-ups throw temper tantrums, she talked about like actually visualizing everyone as an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's like, it's because we all have emotions.
Yeah.
Some of us haven't learned to deal with them even at 75,
Yeah.
you know? The right decision often feels like the wrong decision. And I know that this is such a great chapter.
Yeah.
It's such a great chapter because when you don't want to break somebody else's heart, but it is the right thing to do,
I love
having to make
reading
that
that book. Like, I'm downloading it now. Like,
you have to.
yeah.
It's so good. He talked about this, or she talked about this guy that had written in and said he was going to be married in a month. And it was gnarling at him that it was the wrong decision. And all the deposits had been made and everybody was excited about the wedding and everything was coming together. And it was just, he didn't know how to break everybody's heart.
Yeah.
But when one person, 50% of the marriage doesn't want to be in it,
Yeah.
it's like, that's so like she went over and she told the story. She goes, and can you feel how you're feeling just hearing about it? Imagine what the young man was feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Life isn't fair. She talks about that, how to make comparison or how to battle comparison.
Mm.
My favorite chapter so far is the truth no one told you about adult friendship.
Mm. What does
So
she say
good.
there? Like, what does she talk about?
Well, she talks about a scattering that happens after 20
Okay.
plus 20 some.
Yeah.
And she talks about why you're so heartbroken because for most kids who go to school, not SCAR, but most traditional school, everybody is doing the same things and they all have super important or super big things in common for
Yeah.
a very long time in the beginning part of your life. But once you get out of college or even high school, college, you all scatter and do different things. So you
Yeah.
don't have things in common.
Right. And sometimes those friendships grow apart.
And while you've been on the same timeline from grade 0 or 1
Yeah.
through 12, you're no
Yeah.
longer on the same
Yeah.
timelines. Everyone's getting married at different times, having babies at different times,
Yeah.
having jobs, taking different locations,
Yeah.
So, and then how friendship fades in and out.
Mm.
I mean, we have it. There'll be days that we talk all day long every day, and then we won't talk for
Yeah.
a
And then
month.
for a couple weeks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how adult friendships are, I think.
Yeah.
But like she talks about the difference and why that feels so wrong
Mm.
because you're set up kind of wrong to begin with,
Yeah.
on friendship. But so that was a good one. Um, how to create the best friendships of your entire life.
Mm.
Uh, Yep, people only change when they feel like it. I mean, you know that better than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't change because of something you're begging them to do.
Right. No. Yeah.
I need to have that tattooed across my forehead for fucking Christ's sake. It's just and this is what it comes down to. No one changes because they love another.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, it like accepting that is a motherfucker.
Wow. Yeah.
So, unlock the power of your influence. The more you know about, or the more you rescue, the more they sink.
Mm. Oh,
Oh,
that's what
fuck,
I need
huh?
tattooed somewhere.
Yes.
The more you rescue,
Yes.
the more they sink. Jeez.
Uh-huh.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's a big bite of how's it going, right?
Yeah.
How to provide support the right way. Let them show you who they are. You've heard that quote, let them show you, or let them
Yeah.
show you who you are and believe them the first
Yeah.
time or
Or
something like
when
that.
people show you who they are, believe them. Yeah.
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 how to take your relationship to the next level, how every ending is a beautiful beginning. And then she goes over how to apply those in parenting because it's not the same. These are adult rules, not children rules.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting this book. This sounds really great.
It is so good. Please get it. It's like so good for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you can't stand her voice, which I really love her voice.
Yeah.
Get it in just paperback form.
Yeah,
Who cares?
it's all right,
Hard.
I can put up with it. Like if the message is strong, it's fine.
It is so strong. And she does a great job with delivery.
Good. Yay.
But yeah, so highly, 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 highly recommend that book.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay. Good.
That's about it. Anything else? Well,
Nope.
I'm going to let you. No.
Are you going to let me?
Let me.
I love you. I'll see you next
I
week.
love you. See you next Tuesday.
Oh.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us this week on We Need Help, the podcast.
Make sure to like, subscribe, like again our YouTube channel, our Instagram, follow us wherever you can. It really, really helps us out and ensures that you won't miss any future episodes. So, yep, thanks to you, we can keep going.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.